Welcome to today's show of the Philip.mathers show, where we're going to cover news in kind of a podcast style format from a whole bunch of different news and weather and sports and whatever is going on in the news. So today we start off the show with very sad news out of our neighbors from the south on this day after Independence Day. Um, so very sad news because Blue Jackets goalie Mattis Kivilniks has died at just the age of 24 after a tragic accident with fireworks. So it says here that Kivilniks looks like he was at a party, with his friends, and all of a sudden a rogue firework just went veering into the hot tub area where he was just swimming around with other people. Now, originally, police did say that he hit his head on the concrete, but it was later determined today that he got a chest injury. Chest trauma is what they're calling it here in USA Today. So a fireworks mortar blast, chest trauma is what they're attributing this death to. Kivy was an outstanding young man who greeted every day and everyone with a smile, and the impact he had during his 4 years with our organization will not be forgotten. That's John Davidson, the president of the Blue Jackets, saying that. He was signed on into the organization in May 2017 as a free agent, and he played 8 career games with Columbus. And he also suited up for his native Latvia in several international tournaments. So, like I said, very sad news out of Michigan, where this goalie for the Columbus Blue Jackets has sadly passed away in a freak accident due to July 4th fireworks mishap. And now moving on to other news. This news also related to sports. This is from Infowars.com. 2 cricket players convulse on field just days after team fully vaxxed. On Tuesday's Windies team announced they're fully vaccinated. 3 days later, 2 players collapsed on the field during game. No explanation given for bizarre fainting spells. So footage from a recent cricket match shows 2 West Indies women's team players collapse on the field just days after announcements that the team was fully vaccinated with the Franken shot. The 2 Windies players, Chinel Henry and Chadian Nation, collapsed on the field during a second match with Pakistan last Friday, according to social media reports and team announcements. Most of the team, including management staff, received their second vaccine doses. and became fully vaccinated last Tuesday, 3 days before the match. But in the middle of the game, the first player collapsed on the field while at their position and began to convulse as team members desperately called for medical attention. After the player was wheeled off on a stretcher, and just as the game was about to resume, a second Wendy's player collapsed on the sidelines. The accident stunned the game's commentators, who were puzzled by the freak episode. Jack, actually, we're getting word that there's a second West Indies player down, a game announcer says. Just got word that there's a second player down. Not sure with what, but it seems there's a second player who somehow collapsed in the West Indies team. There's a second stretcher coming. That's remarkable, the commenter says. I've never seen anything like this. What's happening? Is there something unusual? Is there something in the air? Asked another commentator. I don't know. This is unusual. Back in May, Henry, one of the players who fainted, was featured on the team website, proudly displaying her vaccination card following her first injection. On Sunday, the two players uploaded videos to social media claiming they were fine. In media reports following the incidents, no explanation or reason was given for the bizarre fainting spells by medical experts or the team, other than updates stating no hospitalizations were required. Pretty crazy stuff out of the West Indies. And here's some other sports news here from my favorite team who's playing tonight, the Montreal Canadiens. Le Canadien de Montréal. So it looks like they're going to make some lineup changes for today's game for the Stanley Cup final. They are already facing possible elimination if Tampa wins tonight. So it says here, Kotkaniemi will be replaced by Jake Evans, while Alexander Romanov and Brett Kulak will be the third defense pairing. With the Canadiens facing elimination, head coach Dominique Ducharme will make some lineup changes for Game 4 of the Stanley Cup Final against the Tampa Bay Lightning Monday at the Bell Center. Center Jesperi Kotkaniemi will be a healthy scratch with Jake Evans taking his spot, while defenseman Alexander Romanov and Brett Kulak will be in the lineup replacing Eric Gustafsson and John Merrill on the third pairing. Ducharme will move Tyler Toffoli into Artturi Lekonen's spot at left wing on a line with Philippe Danault and Brendan Gallagher, while Evans will be at center between Paul Byron and Lekkonen. Josh Anderson will take Toffoli's spot on a line with Nick Suzuki and Cole Caulfield. Kotkaniemi has 4.38 totals in 19 playoff games and is -5. Suzuki leads the Canadiens with 7 goals and is the only player on the team with more goals than Kotkaniemi in the playoffs. Toffoli and Joel Armia also have 5 goals each. Evans has 1 goal and no assists in 5 playoff games. Romanov has only played 2 games in the playoffs with no points and is -2. Kulak has played 11 games with 1 assist and is -4. So Dominic Ducharme says, we want to have Jake, Licky, and Poli. That's a line that showed some really good things. He said Monday morning at the skate, the Cristal Sports Complex in Brasov. When asked about the changes to his forward lines, we haven't used it much in the playoffs because of injuries mostly, and at one point we were in a good run. We just want to see those three guys together. And then from there, it's keeping Deno and Gallagher, Suzuki and Caulfield, and Eric Stahl's line together. It's nothing against Cake or anything else. It's just that we have depth and we have options, and that's the way it is. That's it. When asked specifically about the line of Evans, Lekkonen, and Byron, Deschamps said speed can play against top lines. They showed it against the Edmonton Oilers. Connor McDavid in 2 games during a regular season brought offense at the same time. Brings energy, many things. So it's a line that can be doing a lot of stuff on the ice and bring energy. Byron is hoping the line changes will give the Canadiens a spark offensively and create some energy. Offensively, we haven't created as much as we have before, Byron said. For us, it's a big start to the game. It would be huge for our team. If we can get off to a great start, play with the lead, show how good our team can be. So I think that's the most important part for our team's start tonight. The Lightning scored the first goal in each of the first 3 games of the series and have played with the lead throughout. Defenseman Joel Edmondson said the Canadiens had good energy at the morning skate, realizing this could be their last game of the season. Everyone's excited for tonight and we just want to come and show them how we can play, he said. I don't think we've really shown the way we can play very often in this series so far. Game 2 was the closest we've done. But good energy. We're excited for tonight. Well, I'm really hoping that they win tonight so that they can win the Stanley Cup. Never done it since 1993, so it would be pretty good if they manage to win the Stanley Cup. And here's some interesting news from
Go Habs go!
China. This is
Okay,
from
moving
Zero
on to
Ahead.
some
Other news. South China port congestion worsens as traffic jam of container ships builds. Severe delays at key port in Shenzhen as global supply chain disruptions continue. Port congestion at Yantian International Container Terminal, Deepwater Port in Shenzhen, Guangdong, is operating at 40% capacity and is seeing vessel delays of more than 16 days, significantly impacting exports to the U.S. Just outside of Yantian is the Outer Pearl River Delta, OPRD, area, where the number of container vessels waiting to access ports on the mainland has hit multi-year highs. At the end of June, 75 container ships were moored in OPRD, surpassing levels from early February of around 35 and about 50 in February 2020. These vessels are waiting for berths to open up at ports. The congestion has surpassed March's Suez Canal blockage in terms of container disruption, with median wait times around 18 days, according to data from Project 44. From port handling in Yantian alone, the sheer number of containers, not vessels, impacted now exceed the number of containers impacted in Suez. Lars Jensen, CEO of Advisory Vespucci Maritime, said in a post on LinkedIn. Jensen warned, add this to ripples such as problems in recent weeks getting new empty containers into South China, then you will have a pile of cargo and backlog coming out of Yantian once everything reopens, giving rise to a surge on the destination side with some time lag. We will have a pile of reefer cargo already on vessels inbound for Yantian, but which is now being discharged in other ports, increasing the risk that other ports will run out of reefer plugs, as we also saw in early 2020. Meanwhile, international container shipping rates have hit never-seen levels amid a historic global scramble to secure goods and inventory. Congestion and soaring shipping costs are more bad news for Walmart, Target, Amazon, and top retailers who are now placing holiday orders for Chinese-made merchandise weeks earlier this year, as a global shipping backlog threatens to leave many gift buyers empty-handed this Christmas shopping season. The latest shipping data out of China suggests port congestion continues to worsen, as supply chain woes are expected through the second half of this year. Wow. That's not really good. So, backlogs of ships in China. Okay, so here's our last segment for today. A liberal Karen triggered by Independence Day. Let's take a look at this. Wow, that's some pretty disturbing stuff. I don't really have too many words to say about this. Pretty scary, actually. You know, instead of saying, "Hey, let's just have a good time and celebrate Independence Day," let's just scream and yell at the top of my lungs. That's great. Um, I don't know how old this woman is, but I'm guessing she's probably like one 1 years old. Maybe I don't even think that. Wow. Yeah, that's scary. Pretty disturbing and scary. Anyway, guys, that's it for the show today. Hope you enjoyed it. And have a good night.
Highly sedated, intoxicated. We're automated and overpopulated. We're all fish in a stream, swimming towards a vicious dream. Don't you know we're the walking dead, dead? Our lives were meant to be this bleak. Somehow they got into our heads. We're wide awake, yet still asleep. We're the walking dead. highly sedated, intoxicated. We're automated and overpopulated.